Today we're going to be talking about DTF printing. DTF printing stands for direct to film printing, and I know it's so scary at first, but I promise I'm going to show you everything you need to know. That way you feel super confident about making your own DTF transfers at home. The K13 Lite just arrived in my craft room, and I'm already obsessed. Not only because it's pink, but because it's the perfect DTF printer for beginners. I started my DTF printing journey a few years ago, and I actually started with the L1800 and then upgraded to the DTF Pro. And now that I've played with the new K13 Lite, I think it's a perfect beginner-friendly printer, and I'm gonna tell you all about it. Let's get started and let me show you why. I'm gonna go ahead and turn it on from the back, and then we're gonna press the power button at the front. And while it's turning on, you're going to see that it's going to be flashing blue. Once it stops flashing, that's when you know your printer is ready to go. Okay, we have a solid blue, so let's go ahead and send a cleaning. You can actually run a cleaning right through this button, or you could send it on the computer. I like to run it on the computer, so we'll just go here. This is the cleaning button. It's gonna ask you, do you want to clean it? We're gonna select OK. And now you can hear that it is actually cleaning. And over here too, if it's cleaning, it'll also be flashing blue. So again, anytime it's flashing blue, it means it's not ready to print. And let me show you what a cleaning looks like from the inside. So you'll see that the ink sacs move over to the left. So you'll see here that it's going to be moving on its own, and the actual cleaning happens down there. Now, I like to run a cleaning every single day before I start printing. That way I can make sure my colors are good. There's a couple of really awesome new features on the K13 Lite. First off, we have this little door stopper that actually holds the door in place, which is super convenient, especially when you have to come in here and clean something. The other one is that they have this new button called ink extraction. Instead of having to pull out the ink sacs and manually pull ink with a syringe, we can now use this super neat button over here. As you can see over here, our light is blue again, so let's send a nozzle test. Back on the system, it is right here, test nozzle. We're gonna hit yes. It's done printing, so we'll just push it out. And you can see here, no missing lines, so that's perfect. Since there are no missing lines on our nozzle check, let's go ahead and send our actual t-shirt transfer design to print. So when you're in the printing software, all you have to do is add in your image. I'm gonna select this butterfly and open it up. And then here, we're just going to size it properly. For small t-shirts, I like to do about 10 inches. And then down here, you can actually see the size of your transfer. Then we'll just click rip, double check our settings. Everything looks good, and then we'll just send it to print. And here you'll be able to see if it sends properly or if there are any issues. But it's green, all good, so let's go back to our printer. So while that prints, let me tell you a little more about DTF printing. DTF printing is an amazing option for making t-shirt transfers at home. The reason being is because DTF transfers can be applied onto any type of material. So unlike sublimation, where you have limitations to where you can only make t-shirts on a certain percent of polyester blend, the higher the polyester count on your t-shirt, the better the sublimation image will come out. DTF printing doesn't have any of those limitations. With DTF printing, you can really press on any type of shirt, any type of cotton t-shirt, any type of polyester cotton blend. The downside of DTF printing though is the maintenance. We'll cover maintenance later on, but basically you need to be doing maintenance daily. My DTF Pro actually stopped working when I went on maternity leave because I wasn't keeping up with it. I mean, I had a newborn child that I was taking care of, so I was not worried about what was going on in my craft room. So it ended up getting clogged, and I actually had to send it to a Pro Colored repair center to get fixed, and thankfully they were able to fix it. But guys, when I'm telling you, don't miss your daily maintenance. It's super, super important. It's really not that hard. I promise I'll walk you through it, but just remember, maintenance is really, really, really important. If you want to invest into a DTF printer, just please make sure that you have the time and the patience to take care of these printers because they are high maintenance. But as long as you keep up with your maintenance, I promise that you're going to be completely obsessed with your DTF printer. And a friendly reminder, just because something works for me doesn't mean it's going to work for you. So just make sure to do your research and always make sure to do what makes sense for your setup and for your schedule. As you can see, the K13 is a little slower on printing, but for me, the speed isn't an issue because while it's printing, I can plan meals, I can clean around the house, and on days where I don't have a babysitter and I'm with Monse all day, I can still send my prints and just let them print in the background. Okay, so while that's printing, let's go ahead and get our oven set up. So with the new oven, you actually get a few goodies with it. So here we have our power cord, we have our cooling block, some parchment paper, and gloves. I'm gonna go ahead and plug this in so we can turn it on. We're just gonna flip the switch switch here in the back, and that's gonna turn it on for us. So the reason why the oven was so heavy is because now it has this huge filter, which is great for us because it just means it's gonna catch more fumes. But look at how huge this thing is. Because of the huge filter, the oven is supposed to be smokeless, so we'll see if it actually is smokeless. I'm actually very excited because that's going to be a game changer if you're curing your transfers like in your home like I am. Okay, our transfer is ready, so let's go ahead and cut it. So we're just gonna feed the film, and we're gonna use this little blade here to cut our transfer, and here we are. I actually forgot to cut off this excess film, so I'm just gonna cut it with scissors. If you are new to DTF printing, I just want you to know that the back is usually wet, so make sure it doesn't touch anything. Make sure you don't touch it, because if you do, it will smear and ruin your print. So here is our print. Now we have to cure it before we can press it onto a shirt. Okay, please ignore my mess, but here is everything we're gonna need to cure our transfer. So first, we're gonna need the DTF powder. We're going to need the oven, and we're going to need a container where we can actually pour the powder on top of the transfer. And I like to use gloves. While I get all of that ready, let's go ahead and set up our oven. So on the oven at the top is where you have your temperature. So we're just gonna hit set. I like to up it to 135, so we'll just hit set. For the time, I usually like to do 300, so that's what we're gonna change it to. And if you're new to time and temperature, those are gonna vary, but usually depending on the powder that you use, the powder is going to have suggested time and temperatures. And even though this is a smokeless oven, I'm still going to use my fume mask just because I'm paranoid, and you can never be too safe. I would recommend getting a box with a lid, because once you pour your DTF powder, you want to save the powder that you don't use. And if you want to reuse that powder, you won't be able to, because then you'll have trash on your transfers and dust, and you know, it just doesn't work out. So I would recommend getting a container with a lid. This is just what I had on hand, so this is what we're going to use. We're going to go ahead and grab our transfer. We are going to grab our powder and open up the bag of powder. Then we are just going to cover our transfer with powder. So I like to shake about a line and close it back up. Again, we want to make sure our powder stays dust free. And then what I'll do is I'll just grab my transfer by the edges, and then we're just going to shake the powder on top of the entire image, because you want the entire image covered with powder. If it doesn't get covered with powder, it won't cure properly and it won't adhere to the shirt. So then we're just going to shake it off, and make sure to shake off all the excess powder. And again, this is what I mean by you want to save this for later for your next t-shirt transfer. And now our transfer is ready to be cured in the oven. Okay, our oven is ready, so let's go ahead and add in our transfer. Just remember, it's really hot in there, so be careful. So we're gonna add in our transfer this way, and we are just going to close it. Okay, so start it, we actually have to hold it, and then it will start counting down for us. So once it's done, it'll actually start beeping so that you know. Then we can lift it. Oh wow, no fumes, that's crazy. On the old oven, when I used to lift it, all the fumes would like come to the top, but there are none. That's so exciting. Okay, sorry, I'm doing this wrong. I'm not used to the new oven. So all you have to do is actually just slide it out. And there you have your cured DTF transfer. Ooh, that's beautiful. Okay, let's go ahead and press our transfer now. Okay, so now that we have our transfer ready, we have our t-shirt ready. And the heat press I'm going to be using today is the HTVRont Auto Press 2. So we're going to go ahead and turn it on. I think I already have the right temperature set. So we have 320. We're actually only going to do 25 seconds. Oh, let's do 20 seconds. And for pressure, I'm just gonna do 130. So what I like about the HTVRont Auto Press is that since it's not ready right now, it's flashing red. So when the temperature hits the temperature we selected, this is actually gonna turn green to let us know it's ready. So while our heat press heats up, just want to tell you a little bit more about DTF. So the amazing thing about DTF is that because we have white ink on the back, we're actually able to use these transfers with really any type of t-shirt and any color t-shirt. So today we're gonna be using this black t-shirt. This is actually a 100% cotton t-shirt. So again, with DTF, we're not restricted to just polyester. We're actually able to use a ton of material. So it's not just t-shirts that we're able to make. We can do pencil pouches, pouches, we can do tote bags. Honestly, the possibilities with DTF transfers are really endless. The other thing is with DTF transfers, you do need a very specific pressure. So the HTVRont Auto Press 2 work really well for DTF because we can adjust the pressure, but you will need a heat press that you can have adjustable pressure on. So for example, if we were using the HTVRont Auto Press 1, because that one has no adjustable pressure at all, that one's a little harder to work with and you might need to use a pillow, you might need to press it a few more times. So if you're looking for a heat press to use with your DTF transfers, just make sure that it has adjustable pressure. Okay, it has now turned green, so our heat press is ready. It is at 320, so let's go ahead and get our t-shirt ready. I messed up my pillow when I was working on a sublimation project, so I always add parchment paper at the top and at the bottom. So we're gonna grab our t-shirt. We're gonna make sure to remove all the links. And if you're wondering why I'm using a lint roller without a little stick, because Monse was playing in my craft room and I don't know what she did with it. I'm gonna go ahead and press it once for just 5 seconds. That way we can get all the wrinkles out. Okay, that's 5. So we'll just press it again. Our wrinkles are gone. Normally I add my transfers 4 fingers down from the collar line, but since this is a v-neck, we're just gonna line it up to the top around here. We're just gonna put it down right there, and now it's ready to press. If you're newer to pressing t-shirts though, what I like to do is I like to grab a measuring tape and I just like to measure it on this side and on this side just to make sure that it is evenly in the middle, as well as measuring it to the top, making sure that it is even on both sides. I like to always just add parchment paper at the top, then we can slide our drawer in, press the button, and it will auto close for us, and then it'll just count down, and once that timer's up, it'll auto open for us as well. Okay, now that we've pressed it, we can go ahead and peel it. Here is the final result of our t-shirt. Now we're gonna go ahead and press it one more time just to make sure it's on there super good. Now our t-shirt is all ready. Now we're gonna go ahead and press a Gildan dry blend. This is a white tee. I already pressed it to get the wrinkles out, so here is our next transfer. And so since this is a regular tee, we're just gonna do about 4 fingers down from the neckline. Again, we're gonna make sure that it is even on both sides and from the top to here. Once we're happy with the placement, we'll just add in our Teflon sheet. Then we'll push the drawer in and we can press our t-shirt now. Ooh, okay, so you hear that beeping? If it's beeping, it's because the drawer isn't all the way in, so just make sure that this like actually clicks in, and then we can press it and now it'll actually go. Look at how cute our t-shirts turned out. Seriously, can't choose a favorite t-shirt. The butterflies are just so cute, but also I'm totally obsessed with the spooky vibes. Which one was your favorite? Let me know in the comments. This brings us to the end of our t-shirt tutorial. I really hope that this tutorial showed you how easy and how fun it is to make your own DTF transfers and custom t-shirts at home. If you've been thinking about getting started, don't forget to use my coupon code to save off your next purchase. I'll have the coupon code in the description. Now that I've walked you through printing, curing, and pressing your t-shirt transfers, I hope that you feel confident starting your DTF journey at home. And of course, if there's anything I missed or any questions that you have, make sure to let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. It helps me so much and it lets me stay home with baby Monse while I make content to help you. I'll see you in the next video where I'll be covering everything you need to know about DTF printer maintenance.